Hello everyone, and welcome to my weather news channel. In France, the hailstorm and heavy rain dropped out. Bodies of civil protection recommended to motorists, pedestrians and especially motorcyclists to observe precautionary measures. It is expected that in a number of the regions of France the rain still will amplify. The hail is formed thanks to circulation of water in the nature. The result of evaporation in hot summer weather. Air is saturated with moisture and rises in the atmosphere. The above steam rises, that his temperature becomes lower, a moisture is condensed. The big cumulus cloud is formed. The lower storm cloud has characteristic dark, almost black color, and hangs down directly over the earth. Gravity of the cloud is at the height of 5 to 9 kilometers, has the torn up to pieces ends of ashy color. The general picture allows to understand at once that in a heap the numerous processes foretelling elements rage. The cloud is gradually overflowed and throws out water in a type of a rain. Be 2 hot days for the account of a powerful stream of air, 10 m/c, evaporations rise so highly that steam overcools and freezes. Drops can face sea foreign impregnations, grains of sand and dust which become a crystal core. A distance more than 5 kilometers from the earth of a small piece of ice begin to move chaotically. When the stream of air loses force, the frozen drops, having given in to gravitation, begin to fall under the weight. Till away they meet the new portion of steam, dust and sand brought by the ascending air. The ice ball long travels in the atmosphere, repeatedly rises and falls. Can thaw and drop out in a type of a rain. At existence of the having factors in a type of high speed and low temperature of air in the atmosphere, crystallici acquire new layers of ice and become heavy. Having reached the maximum sizes with which force of air doesn't cope, the hail leaves a cloud and falls upon the earth. The natural phenomenon in a type of a hail is characteristic of average width. The tropical countries of similar precipitation almost never happens, so as for their education low temperatures of air in the lower layers of the atmosphere are necessary. If happen, then in mountain areas and aren't more often than one time in 4 years. He meet gratify precipitation and in the polar region. Moderate latitudes the frequency of loss depends on local conditions. Probability of loss is proportional to proximity of location of the sea, the nature of sushi, the temperature mode. Over the land the ice crystals are formed more often than over the sea. The reason for it is need of a powerful airstream which it is necessary by sea insufficiently. Near the sea the probability of loss is significantly higher than in the distance. Therefore in the seaside countries gratify precipitation happens several once a year. The largest precipitation happens in mountain areas to which uneven warming up of a surface of the earth is characteristic. Water steam is brought by an airstream on height over 8 kilometers where very low temperature mode, -40 C, prevails. From such height of draft the speed of 160 kilometers per hour rush. The hail never appears in loneliness. His right satellites are thunderstorm, rain and heavy rain. Tornadoes and hurricanes are harbingers of falling of pieces of ice of sea of the sky, so as confirm formation of the vortex winds directed up. When the stream of air doesn't cope with the mass of educated crystals, they fly to the earth. More often the hail drops out at the same time with the rain, sometimes appears the first. Precipitation in a type of a hail doesn't happen in the winter. At low temperatures the cooled condensate is located in snow clouds. The ice rain can go to cold time of year, and it is absolute other natural phenomenon. In summertime the hail occurs after midday when the sufficient amount of moisture evaporated. Probability remains till 2200 hours. Often people are set by a question, whether there is a hail in night time of day. For formation of precipitation are required, powerful heating of a surface of the land and the strong ascending air streams. Only in this case the crystalline lenses will have such size which will allow them to reach the earth and not to thaw. At the night there is no such opportunity. The only chance for emergence of a hail in dark time of day, emergence of a big storm cloud. Loss of a hail happens narrow long strips, and comes to an end approximately in 10 minutes. It is a small consolation, considering circumstances of the caused damage. Precaution measures for prevention of troubles. It is necessary to show the observation. The hail occurs at existence of clouds of a special form, the size and color. Emergence of many-tier cumulus clouds of gray color with a funnel in the lower part, will warn of fast loss of ice precipitation. The meteorological forecast in means of mass information will give detailed data of O to weather, in that number about precipitation. At this time the sleet, but this completely different natural phenomenon having nothing in common with considered can drop out. The winter rain in the form of ice spheres uniform and transparent, and a hail can consist of several different structures. At a speed of the ascending stream in a cloud less than 40 km per hour, long time of a hailstone won't keep in a cloud, and they pretty fast fall down, without managing to grow. The timely awareness will give chance to prevent damage, previously to collect the harvest, to close young escapes and crops, to put the car under the shelter, to hide valuable objects. A main is not to come to the street, not to let out children and animals. If precipitation found a person on the street, it is necessary to find a shelter. Trees, the most improper option of the shelter. The thunderstorm is the indispensable satellite of loss of a hail, and the lightning can strike in a tree. The branches damaged by ice flows will cause not smaller harm to health than precipitation. If the optimum option of the shelter wasn't, it is possible to use own clothes, having curtailed into several layers and to cover the head. Boards, fragments of metal and plastic will be suitable for protection. Be a case if the hail overtook the person in own transport means, isn't recommended to leave him. It is necessary to find the parking of a canopy, to come around the next garage, to stop under the bridge. It is better to keep far away from windows and to close the head. If there is an opportunity, to hide under a cover or the top clothes. Being in the room, it is necessary to accept safety measures, as at a thunderstorm, to close windows and to depart far away, to switch off light, to disconnect household devices from power supply. The interesting facts of exact and scientifically reasonable answer to the question, is formed the hail? Aren't present. Scientists of different times put forward a number of the assumptions of the mechanism of formation of ice crystals. No one of these theories was approved. B was presented to the middle of last century in result of the numerous researches supported with scientific literature and knowledge a hypothesis which was recognized by the World Meteorological Organization. The hypothesis says that formation of hailstones happens because of evaporation of moisture from the surface of the land which with streams of air rises in the atmosphere, then is condensed, cooled, and at low temperatures freezes. Officially she acts and now. Of a research proceed, and the new assumptions and the facts appear. The theory of emergence of a hail which can be considered the main has essential contradictions. Scientists of the different countries carried out a number of experiments and tests. Being based on the received data, having carried out certain parallels, came to a conclusion, the hail always appears after a thunderstorm. Without category of a lightning of ice precipitation doesn't happen. Happen thunderstorms without hail. At the moment of lightning discharge, a significant amount of heat is released at a huge speed, which evaporates intensively in the channel. With the end of the sparkling, the evaporation of moisture stops, rapid condensation occurs. The droplets instantly cool and freeze. Thus, ice crystals appear. According to new research, the formation of hail does not require low temperatures in the atmosphere at all. Ice flows appear due to the powerful discharge of lightning in low layers at positive temperatures. The size of the crystals depends on the discharge intensity. With the end of lightning, the fall of hail precipitation also stops. Hail formation is an uncomplicated process based on the laws of physics. The clouds in which it forms are usually layered on top of each other, the lowest is closer to the earth, the uppermost is a few kilometers above its surface. When extreme heat is established outside, water vapor along with heated air begins to rise upward, gradually cooling. The upward flow can be so strong that the vapor particles are brought to a very high height, where they first cool heavily and then begin to turn into hailstones. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, to stay up to date on the most important weather events.